Hi everybody. This transmission has been waiting for a while to come. It's been generating and percolating over a few weeks since the last full moon and new moon cycle. It's an ascension, twin flame reading, divine union. It initially looked very much like divine feminine, but I've realized it's actually very much a balancing, coming together of divine feminine, divine masculine, and how we're seeing that down in our day-to-day life and our relationships. So yeah, here's the transmission. Isha ata aka ototo ata ta ta ta. So the first is where we're moving from, where we've been, what we've been experiencing, what we're coming from, emerging from, and so I see the Equator card as it says to make equal, and it feels very much like this is, so it's obviously yin and yang, black and white, opposites but together, the opposites together as one, equal, and the equator is the place where the north hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, or the northern pole and the southern pole, equidistant between them. It's where they meet. It's where the opposite energies meet. And so everything is equal there. You've got the seasons don't really change very much. The weather's always the same. You don't get a big variation in day and night like you do at the poles. And it feels like this is a process as part of the ascension that we are doing within ourselves, especially Twin Flame Collective, is we are merging the opposing aspects of ourselves, as well as the masculine polarity and the feminine polarity. We're bringing them together into a unity, into an equality within ourselves, with the understanding that that will be reflected out in our world also as part of the ascension process. And how we're seeing that in our relationships with our divine partners and twin flames is the chemistry. You know, it's those differences that give that charge, that make that electricity, or the magnetism, right? It's opposites attract. So there's a strong magnetic attraction here, and we're seeing that outwardly in the world, in the masculine and the feminine coming together, sharing their differences, meeting in the middle. And I'm hearing, I love that. That's what I'm hearing, an echo through this transmission. I love that. So what we're coming into now as the present is the outer core, number 12, which is fluidity. And this is about the inner core of the earth. So we're going from the outside, from the poles and the equator, we're going to the core now, we're going inside. And this is a natural process of evolution that we're doing. It's like the next step is going inner. So the inner core of the planet is magnetic, super magnetic and hard. And it's the outer core that goes outside the inner core. So we're not talking about the surface of the earth, we're still talking about the core. So it's the outer layer of the inner core is fluid. It's moving. It's not solid like the inner core. And it is moving that magnetic flow and dispersing it out to the poles of the earth. So this is about letting that, it's really about meeting in the middle, but the inner middle, the inside of ourselves, so that inner fluid movement that moves us internally. So more of those unconscious kind of movements you find yourself doing or saying that come from nowhere but are right. They're coming from that fluid center. So yeah, the guidance is that is the energy coming in, is that we're moving from that surface, meeting and in the middle and the surface, to really meeting at the core, at the real middle, the real place where the magnetic source is, rather than the poles, if that makes sense. And how we're seeing this in our relationships is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. That makes complete sense, doesn't it? So when we're on the surface and we were magnetic poles meeting in the middle with a chemistry, we could see it as a chemistry will coming together in the physical world, in the outer world. And as we deepen into our inner core, where the source of the magnetic attraction, we start to actually get to know each other at a deeper level. And that creates the deeper bond. So what's coming as we do that, what's next, is 13, separateness, desert. So this desert card, you can see she's alone there, and there's nothing around her, no greenery, no nourishment. It's very barren and sandy and hot, but it's about the people responding to the elements and moving, being nomad. So we've got that fluidity again, like being able to move to where is nourishing for you, or where you need to go for food, for shelter, for warmth, for cool, that kind of thing. And it's also about going under the surface. So in this card they talk about going, people being nomadic and moving under the surface, underground or into caves. So there is a real move, but we're talking about out on the surface here. So where we're moving to is that combination of surface level, 3D level, living level, at the same time as that underground inner knowing ourselves, knowing what we need, moving and being moved to where we need to be for our greatest good. And how we're seeing that in our relationships is let go of control issues, allow this situation to unfold naturally. So it's as there's a meeting, it really in the whole of you, like the exploring the surface, exploring the differences, exploring the similarities, exploring how we're the same, going inner, deepening, bonding, then allowing that natural flow that we're accessing, that magnetic core, letting that move us. To let that move us, we have to let go of our ideas about how things should be or what's in our highest good, and let what's in our highest good emerge through us. Let ourselves be guided, let ourselves be moved. So what is the active healing card for us today? It is the Knight of Coins. However, it's the Knight of Coins reversed, which is lacks direction, feeling stuck, irresponsible, bored, unstable, impatient, doesn't finish things, stifled. So I can see this as if we're fluid and we're going with the flow, and we're moving with the weather and the outside forces, being pushed inner and then coming back outer, it might seem like there's a lack of direction, which is in a way a lack of the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is connected to his direction and his plan and his strategy and the physical and the action. So it's a lack of goals, lack of direction. However, we're being asked to let go of control issues. Feeling stuck. If you're feeling stuck, you can't go with the fluidity. So I think this is very much about healing the part of us that feels stuck, or that feels like we're not being moved with the flow, that's not accessing that direction that's coming from our core, from the source of life force, that knows what we need, that has that intelligence. And with that, there's not a trust, so you can get patient with, I'm not going here, I don't know where I'm meant to go, not connected to my inspiration, which would also mean you don't finish things because you're not feeling the urge, you're not feeling that passion or connection to what you're doing, and stifled if you're not expressing yourself. So we're going to do some light language and clear that, which will enable us to let go of that control, trust the flow, trust ourselves, trust what's coming through, trusting when we need to move inner, when we need to move more to the surface level, where we need to be in any moment. Atatati takatokotati takapatati takapatakati takatokoko akatati takataka akatati tatatati takakatokoko akatokoko akatatata akatatati takatakato atatati takata akatati tatata kokoko tototototototototoko atatati tatata kakakakatokoko akatati takati tatata kakokoko akatati ta. I'm feeling like the crown connecting upwards, opening and connecting upwards to our guidance, to divine source. Akatiti titi tatako tati takata ta. Akatati takata. Akatati tatatoko totoko tati takata tatapataka putuko pukoko. Akatata tati tatatata kakatoko koko. Akatati takata tatatata. Ato to atatata ata. Okay, I'm feeling to pull in the painting I've just literally done. Just guided to do it this morning. It only took me about an hour. It is the golden heart, that source light, our higher self, our Christed consciousness, shining its light down through all the different layers and levels and dimensions of our being into the physical world, which is represented by the pink magenta heart at the bottom on the shore, and the waves are washing it down. So we're going right from the highest level of our being, bringing our light, our guidance, our love, right through into the shore, where we receive it into our physical bodies, from heaven all the way into earth, into our heart. And I'm really feeling a strong connection with the waters lately. There's energy coming through the waters. Akati takataka toko tototototi takatata tatati takatata. Akatati takatako. Akatati takatati takatakako tototoko tokoko tokoko. Akatati takakati takata koko atati takaka. Akatati tatataka koko. Akatati takakato koko. I'm getting the aqua energy. Yeah, I'm being shown the aqua energy, the aqua color, aqua ray, and the aqua colored heart. They're like blue turquoise aqua heart there. I know Celia Fenn speaks about the waters and the aqua heart. I'll see if I can find it and link it below. Akatita katokoto kota tita kapatata tita kaka atokoko. Okay, so the energy is coming in through the crown now. Yep, aqua energy. Akatita katoko. Akatati tata kaka totoko totoko tati kata. Akatati tata toko tita toko tata kata tita kaka. Akatati takaka toko toko tati kata kata. Akatati takata toko toko. Akatati tata takata kaka toko. I'm seeing the aqua world in the equator card. Akatati tataka toko to make equal. Akatati takaka. Akatati takaka kaka toko. I'm feeling the spine right behind the heart being activated. Akatati tatatati takaka toko with this aqua blue energy. Akatati takatatati takatatata takaka toko. And the womb, akati takata tatata, akatati takataka to, akatati tatatati takatakataka, akatati takakaka, the throat, akatati tatata. It feels like even like the glands in the throat, like the thyroid, parathyroid, atatati takatatatata to, and the blue, atiti. It's activating the throat chakra and the blue of the throat chakra. Atata. Yeah, I'm seeing like a deeper blue now. Akatata, like a royal blue. Atatati takatata atatata ka. Okay, it feels like it's rushing through the energy field, expanding its aqua blue energy throughout the entire energy field. Crown is open. It's moving down through the tailbone, the jaw. It's activating the jaw. I feel it's also about speaking truth. Speaking loving words, speaking words of wisdom, speaking truth. And then the third eye is activating with this aqua energy. Yeah. Okay, that's just activated all the way up through all the upper chakras up to the heavens. Also being shown symbols, like you may start to see or perceive or feel yourself drawing symbols, light codes. Okay, that's it, everybody. So let me see if we're still that direction. No, the card's going up the right way now. So connected to nature. Well, that makes sense. I feel it's a particular connection to water. Practical, conservative, stubborn, loyal, hardworking, responsible, protective, defensive, persistent, patient, slow. So the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Coins is really a divine masculine card, or a wounded masculine card, divine when healed. He moves slowly. So I feel there's been healing in there for our feminine side, enabling us to really move into flow and fluidity and follow our intuition, and for our masculine side, where that gets stuck in, not being able to access the direction, the way, the plan, and finding the midway between the two where both are active. You follow your intuition with a clear direction and take action, inspired action based on that. So it says loyal and hardworking, responsible, protective. I see that, and persistent, patient and slow. See it as taking the required time as the next steps appear, but putting your heart and soul into it and physically taking the actions in a balanced way to reach the outcome, including in our divine relationships. Intititi ata ato. Okay. So do listen to your body, drink a lot of water to help that move through and integrate. Rest as much as you need to. And blessings, everyone.